Brian Oake, and that is Jill Riley. Normally we do Oake and Riley in the morning here on The Current, but today we are Oake and Riley in the afternoon. We're broadcasting live at the Minnesota State Fair, and we are joined now by a band. That is not an uncommon occurrence on The Current, but it's always a special surprise when it happens out here at the Great Minnesota Get-Together. I'm excited for some live music.
Yeah, so Minnesota State Fair, I mean, really, it's all things local and people showing off their locally made products. And we are showing off some locally made music here on Oake and Riley in the afternoon, live from the Minnesota State Fair. So I say we get into a song right away, and then let's chat in between, get another song from you guys. You guys give it up here at the Minnesota Public Radio booth for the local band Now Now.
You sing my baby, send your love around, just to use it on another like a trick. Now only comes like a thief in the night. But you know that it's not right. Now I know that it was foolish of me to give away such a pivotal part of me. It's only sad 'cause it could have been easy. Yeah, it could have been easy. I know I'm not the only one who listened to ya. Billie Jean, baby, please, he's a criminal. Maybe if I was young, unpredictable. He's got a heart and I want it all back. 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 And I want it all. I used to think that she could have been an angel, but she left all her demons on my front step. That's creeping up on me like you never left. Like you never left. You know I lost my mind about 1,000 times, because it could have been easy. You know it could have been easy. I know I'm not the only one who listened to ya. Billie Jean, baby, please, he's a criminal. Maybe if I was young, unpredictable. He's got a heart and I want it all back. 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 And I want it all. You know I lost my mind about 1,000 times, because it could have been easy. You know it could have been easy. I know I'm not the only one who listened to ya. Billie Jean, baby, please, he's a criminal. Maybe if I was young, unpredictable. He's got a heart and I want it all back. 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 And I want it all.
Thank you.
Minnesota music from Now Now, broadcasting live from the Great Minnesota Get-Together at the MPR booth. The band kind enough to join us live right now. My name is Brian Oake. That is Jill Riley. We're out here until 7 o'clock, and we're very happy to have the band with us right now. You know, I grew up in Minnesota. I grew up, and I'm not at all ashamed of it, despite the fact that people like to shame you when you're from a town called Coon Rapids. A friend of mine growing up called it the North Suburban Cultural Corridor. Another proud city in that North Suburban Cultural Corridor was the city immediately to the east called Blaine. Is it true that this band is rooted in Blaine, Minnesota?
You could say it's rooted in Blaine and Coon Rapids.
And I'm Coon Rapids and he's Blaine, but we're
We're
like right on the border.
Right on the border.
Wait a minute, how did you
I
guys
went
get
to
along?
University Avenue
I
Elementary
know.
School, like right there on the border.
I went to Blaine High School. That's
Right
how
on.
that happened.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
yeah, I consider myself more of a Blainerd. What would you call someone?
I'm going with that
That
because
works.
that's fantastic.
A Blainian? I don't know.
Blainite?
I like Blainer.
Blainite.
Blainerd's
Blainerd.
way better. I like
Blainerd's
that.
great,
Anyway,
yeah.
I just love that because there are so many amazing bands from Minnesota, oftentimes from outstate places you've never heard of, oftentimes from the city proper. Very few are from fourth-tier suburbs, and it warms my heart to know that I'm not alone.
You're
Well,
not
we're
alone.
proud to
We're here.
we're proud to
We're here.
represent the Coon Rapids people in the Blainer.
Yeah.
Blainers.
The Coon Rapidians.
There
and
we
the
go.
Blainers.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Casey and Bradley,
You're on a
together they
roll.
are Now. They've got their new record out, came out earlier in the spring called Saved. Now, that was your first new record in 6 years.
Yes.
Yes.
And again, I'm not one to decide at what rate an artist produces material, but dang, 6 years. Why 6 years?
It was we were touring for a couple of them off of our album before, and then it took us 4 years to try and write the album.
Okay.
Took us a long time to figure out what we wanted our band to sound like going forward, really. We'd spent so much time on the previous record, and I don't know, when you're in a band and you tour the same record for 2.5 years, kind of puts you in a certain headspace of like writer's block and like what are we gonna do next? Like, how do we follow this up? Do we want it to be the same? Do we want to be different? I don't know.
I think yeah, it was just hard to know where to go for us. Feeling like kind of restricted by the fact that people liked our last album, and so this
Which was a
feeling of
surprise to
yeah,
us.
we weren't expecting it to happen because like we put out 3 EPs before then, and it kind of was like we stayed at pretty much the same level, and then that album came out and it took us to another level, and so then we were kind of nervous about what can follow that.
We are speaking with the band Now, at one time known as Now Every Children. Now representing Blaine and Coon Rapids, which is wonderful, and
Yeah.
really spending a lot of time on the road. And I'm glad you kind of talk about that, like the headspace that you can get in, because now as fans, everything feels really new to us, but it's been material that's been with you for so long.
Especially that record, like
Yeah.
some of those songs were years before we even made that record, so
So some of those songs are probably like 8 or 9 years old
Right.
from our last album.
Yeah, and we don't realize that as music fans because everything sounds very new. But congratulations with all your success, and I know that you've got some busy time on the road coming up. What do are you guys going to Mexico?
we are.
Okay, what's the story with that?
We're doing a festival.
It's the Corona Capital Festival. I'm pretty excited. I've always wanted to go to Mexico, and Mexico City especially seems very cool. So
Fantastic. Well, and taking 6 years to figure out where you want to go, I just always feel like if you go away that long, even if people are loving you and constantly saying nice things, like they're not going to forget about us, are they? But luckily, in that 6 years, it apparently was the perfect amount of time because the latest record, Saved, is one of my favorite things I've listened to this year. And obviously, people have not forgotten about you. If anything, it's going in the right direction. A, you're invited to go to Mexico for a massive festival. But B, we just found out, us personally, and I think it's okay to talk about, that you are going on tour with Hippocampus later on
Yes,
Yeah.
in January.
in January.
Next year.
should
yeah.
be fun.
That's fantastic. Have you spent any time with those guys before?
We just
We-
met them at
At an airport.
Where
Yeah.
most
Did you just
bands
run
meet.
into each other? How did that
yeah,
happen?
it was so weird. We were flying back from the UK and we got there and we were hungry, so we wanted to go have breakfast. Sat down, and then they walked in and sat in the same exact corner of this huge breakfast place in the airport and came and said hi. And
Is that how the tour got put together? Is that how that works in
I
the rock
don't
and roll
know, but
business?
I'm going to pretend that it's because we met at the airport.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a way better story.
it is.
Way better
is.
story. I know you also have a show coming up very shortly here, early October, at the newly renamed Music Hall MPLS, or Music Hall Minneapolis downtown, previously known as The Brick, previously known as Mill City Nights. And I don't know, I remember who you're playing with on that show, though.
St. Lucia.
There we go.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good. Well, if there's one thing you could tell everybody about the new record that maybe isn't evident on the first listen, like, I don't know, maybe you got into reading tarot cards, or maybe you're become long distance runners, something that informs the new record that we might not know off the top of our heads. That's a hard question, I know. It's a test.
I don't know if this is necessarily the same kind of thing, but we tried to go to a studio to write the album, and then we did the majority of the album in our basement where we started writing to begin with. So it kind of came full circle. We went back to the Blaine basement.
Yep.
Where
Blaine
we began.
Fantastic.
Finished
Yeah.
in Blaine.
Yep.
How about that?
Powered by Blaine.
Yep.
Blaine Spirit, go Bengals. Fantastic
Exactly.
news.
The marching
Yeah.
band was here today, so
Yeah.
it's all
Oh,
meant
really?
to be.
During the parade today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all coming full circle.
Our
Jill.
people.
It is.
Our people.
I heard the drumline cadence and we like went running because
Yep.
I was in drumline, so
Very nice. So you still, like, they're still using the same one. You still got it
Yeah.
memorized.
Yep.
still the same
It,
one.
like, triggers
you never
something
forget
in
it.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You're like, it's like the bat signal, you know? Like someone's calling me somewhere.
I better go that way.
Yeah, I gotta go.
We're talking with Casey and Bradley of Now Now. Would you guys like to do some more music?
Yes, we sure would.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. Let's
Yeah.
get another song on the air. Please give it up for Now Now, live from the Minnesota Public Radio booth at the Minnesota State Fair.
Yep.
Oh, you make it look so easy. Your love came freely. She had her chances. Couldn't leave it in the past, yeah. She took advantage. She's taking it for granted. You know I try so hard, but I understand it. So if you say you're gone, I'll let it be. And I hope you change your mind about me. 'Cause you look so sweet in the heat of summer. You drive me crazy when your hands start to wander. You're lonely, honey, can't you see what I see? If you love me, baby, you've gotta set it free. You're looking that way, I just can't stand it. I learned my lesson, but you break me like a habit. Oh, you can run from me, baby, but you won't get far. Every time I close my eyes, you kiss me in the dark. But if you say you're gone, I'll let it be. And hope you change your mind about me. 'Cause you look so sweet in the heat of summer. You drive me crazy when your hands start to wander. You're lonely, honey, can't you see what I see? If you love me, baby, you've gotta set it free. You look so sweet in the heat of summer. You drive me crazy when your hands start to wander. You're lonely, honey, can't you see what I see? If you love me, baby, you've gotta set it free. Because you look so sweet in the heat of summer. You drive me crazy when your hands start to wander. You're lonely, honey, can't you see what I see? If you love me, baby, you've gotta set it free. If you love me, baby, you've gotta set it free.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, performing live at the NPR booth out here at the Great Minnesota Get Together during Oake and Riley in the afternoon. The latest release is called Saved. They're going on tour with Hippocampus, a show next month at Music Hall Minneapolis downtown. And it is so fantastic that you were able to join us out here today.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you
us.
very much for
Thank
coming
you.
out.
Live on the current. And here's a special treat. This is what we like to do when we have a crowd gathered at the Minnesota Public Radio booth. We are going to throw things back to Mac, who is running the board at the downtown NPR headquarters here in St. Paul. And you know what? We're going to get a couple more songs from this band for the crowd. So we'll send it back to Mac for another 3-song set, and this time from Tori Amos. It's the Block Rockin' Weekend, live from the fair on the current. Okay, you guys wanted a couple more songs, right? Again, thanks for coming to the Minnesota Public Radio booth. To Now, thank you for performing live.
Thank you.
You guys take it away with a couple more songs, if you would please.
For sure.
The best part about being in a band is guitar tuning. I'm telling you that right now. There's nothing awkward.
It
about
never
it.
gets better.
No. It's a beautiful sound.
We could keep in touch if that's what you want. You could call me too if that's what friends do. It's not more than one if that's what you thought. You'd say I don't have a dream for you, but I do. I could stay inside if that's what you want. I won't say a word for a day or two. When I'm in my room, I know what to do about you. I can sleep, I can sleep, I can sleep. So when I get home, I am kept from every room in the house. I'll walk down the hall where you have gone to feel the way it felt again, I am what you need when you can't find it somewhere else. I am what you want when you don't want anything else. I am what you need when you can't find it somewhere else. I am what you want when you don't want anything
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sticking around and listening to us. We were so excited to be able to do this. We got to play the grandstand last year, and we were afraid this year we wouldn't be able to play. And lucky for us,
Here we are.
here we are. We're going to try and find our way to play at the fair every year from now on.
Even if it's for ourselves. Catch us in the corner somewhere, yeah.
Yep.
We'll
be,
play in that back room.
We'll be by the corn. We'll be in the barns. Anywhere. Now, just give us a second.
I love that song.
So good. You know what, though? The very first shows we played, we didn't even know what guitar tuning pedals were.
No.
So.
Didn't have one.
Oops. We would spend like 5 minutes tuning to a keyboard.
Brad, don't stop tuning to talk.
Yeah, I haven't quite mastered that yet.
Brad usually plays drums, so tuning and talking are not what he does.
Like multitasking, playing drums I can handle, but not when I'm like trying to speak and do this. But I think I got it.
Great job. You did great, Brad. I'm proud of you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you to The Current for having us.
You call me crying the middle of the night. I'm on my knees, you've got me praying for a sign. It's all wrong, she's looking for a fight. Just say my name and I'll come running. Don't get me wrong, I hear your reasons. You get along over the weekends, but I got it bad. Yeah, I'm not sleeping, and every time I hear her name, my heart is breaking. Pick it up, baby, if we're moving too slow. I got the seat back, windows up, just say it, I'm yours. Now every word is heavy, tell me what you wanna know. You're my shotgun lover and I want it all. Every time we talk all night, you've only got one foot in the river, baby, why? If only I could reach your mind. You've got your finger on the trigger, baby, give in to me. I hear your reasons, you get along over the weekends, but I got it bad. Yeah, I'm not sleeping, and every time I hear her name, my heart is breaking. Pick it up, baby, if we're moving too slow. I got the seat back, windows up, just say it, I'm yours. Tell me what you wanna know. You're my shotgun lover and I want it all. Now I was young and dumb. I could have died with you there in the sun. Pick it up, baby, if we're moving too slow. Now every word is heavy, tell me what you wanna know. You're my shotgun lover and I want it all. Now I was young and I'm dumb, but I could have died with you there in the sun. You're my shotgun lover and I want it all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.